like to now introduce to you Nayda. And Nayda practices here in Kinesiology and Reiki and is studying bush practices. So now she's going to have a word. Thank you.
Hi. First, I just want to acknowledge you guys for coming, because that's a really important part in your first step in health, is to take responsibility for your own journey towards better health. So thank you all for coming. It's nice to see so many people. Right, so my name's Nayda. I'm a registered specialised kinesiologist, and I do those other things, but I usually combine them in with the treatment. So, kinesiology, just as hard to explain as it is to spell, really.
I spelled it wrong.
No, you did. You did this. Yeah, that's good. Give you a hard time. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but I do just want to ask you, who here is just tired of being tired? Sick of being sick and feeling stressed and overwhelmed by life? Yeah, right? So if I can help you find an easy solution to solve those issues, would that be something you'd be interested in? Yeah? So kinesiology can actually help you do that. And it'll help you start to take back your life and give you that vibrant life that you know that you deserve. So our body is much more intelligent than we give it credit for. It is actually like a supercomputer. It stores, like a massive database, it stores all the information that we have ever come across. Every person we've ever seen in a crowd, every conversation we have ever heard, every piece of information since we were born, and most likely before that, at that bottom part of that iceberg that you saw before. Everything is stored in there. All the information that we need to know to heal ourselves. So how do we access that, though? That's the really important question to ask. How do we tap into that information that's stored within us? So we can actually be our own feedback mechanism. We can use our body to ask questions and find out that information so we can then help it heal itself, basically. So, what I'd like to do is just explain a little bit more, but then I'd like to just talk to you about a little case study that I've done, and then give a quick demonstration if that's okay, if we have enough time. She'll give me that if I'm going too long. But basically, every muscle in our body is linked with a different system or different organ in our body. And stress of any kind, so whether it's emotional, physical, mental, nutritional, electromagnetic, any type of stress, can short circuit our system. We're electrical beings. So we can actually test different muscles to find out where that short circuit is happening, in what system of the body, what organ's being affected, whether it's just brain function or whether it's an actual body function. And by using a technique, a specific, unique to kinesiology, called muscle monitoring, we can actually ask the body and find the underlying cause rather than treating the symptoms like you were talking about. We can ask the body what it needs, what is actually going on underneath. And David mentioned that before in his list of things in the iceberg. There's always stuff going on that starts before the symptoms start to show. So I do work a lot with emotions, and the bush flowers work with emotions as well. But we can work together with any kind of problem. So whether it's physical problem, mental problem, emotional, nutritional, whatever the problem is, the body knows exactly what it needs to heal. So if we ask it and it can tell us, then we can help find a solution for that. So if I could just quickly talk about a case study that I had. So a lady came to see me. She'd been having debilitating migraines for most of her life. So far back as she could remember as a child, she had these intense weekly debilitating migraines, along with other issues like digestion and unresolved lower back pain that was causing her lots of grief. There was no apparent rhyme or reason for these migraines that came on, and she'd been to many different practitioners. So she'd seen the doctors, she'd tried the drugs, she had been to acupuncture, chiro, thinking it was her neck, and even other kinesiologists she'd been to as well, and they hadn't quite been able to figure out what was going on. She tried everything and nothing actually worked. Within one session, we were able to pinpoint that the migraines came on whenever she felt the need to fix someone else's problems or help be the fixer, and couldn't. So if she couldn't help them, she started to feel out of control and helpless. And that's when these migraines would just come on with a vengeance. So when she actually realised this, she was able to then recognise and see the pattern that she had created throughout her life and repeated throughout her life. She remembered that as a child, she tried to fix her parents' relationship to keep them together so they didn't break up. And when that failed, she started getting these headaches so that they would pay attention to her and not argue as much. So, helped at the time, but now as an adult, not so great. So when she could actually acknowledge that she had been subconsciously trying to do that throughout her life, she realised that she could no longer take responsibility for fixing other people's problems. And she was then able to break the pattern that had held her back, because it sure wasn't helping her then. There were other issues involved, of course, mostly emotional again. But after a few more sessions, her migraines reduced significantly to once every 6 to 8 months. She didn't need drugs anymore, except right when they came on. But more than that, she was able to recognise those migraines as a trigger for her behaviour. So every time she got one, she'd go, how am I trying to fix people again? How am I trying to control the situation? And why am I feeling helpless? Excuse me. She was able to feel more supported in herself. So her back pain actually went away and she was able to take up tennis again, which she absolutely loved to do. It went from an 8 out of 10 every day, her back pain, to a 2 out of 10. So she could actually cope with that. She still had to avoid trigger foods, but her digestive issues weren't an issue for her anymore. And she also noticed that she was sleeping better and daily life just wasn't so overwhelming and stressful. So it's really, really important to understand that emotions play a massive, massive part in our physical problems. So, well, if you think about what are emotions really?
Energy and emotion.
Exactly, energy and motion. So what happens if that energy that needs to move doesn't move? If we have an emotion that we don't express, where does it go? What happens to it? If you imagine we're all energy, everything's energy. So if an emotion is energy and we shove it back down, what's it going to do? It's going to sit there. It's going to cause a disruption in our body system. Our body has to find a way around that, and that's when our body starts to get out of balance. So if we can ask the body what's going on, we can bring that stuff up from the subconscious up to our conscious awareness. We can start to realise that we actually have control over changing and letting those patterns go and get back into balance. So then, I do use a bit of intuition as well. But the information I'm getting, I can then ask questions which will bring up more emotions, and then they can clear all of that energy that's just stuck in. And it can be as superficial or as deep as we like to go. I generally like to go deep, go hard, get it out. Some people aren't ready for that, and that's okay. So I go with what that person actually can cope with at the time. But we can actually go straight into the amygdala, work with the fight-flight mechanism, clear all the fears and anxieties that are being held in there. I can work with brain patterning, so I work a lot with learning and behaviour issues, so we can actually reconnect pathways in the brain so they can information can get through better. But our bodies know exactly what we need to heal. So if you're ready to get on top of your issues and take charge of your life again, who better to ask than your own body? And that's what I help you do. But any questions? Sorry. Someone must have a question. Yes.
How do you actually treat, that's sort of like a diagnostic sort of
Okay.
directional thing, but
Yeah.
what do you do once you find out?
So it's based on a lot of traditional Chinese medicine techniques. So it'll be using different acupressure points, either rubbing or holding. It'll be so there's one called an FO holding. We hold the head to get the body to be able to find new solutions, to bring those solutions from the back to the front of the brain, so we can actually think a bit clearer. It might be using specific muscles, so we can strengthen those muscles so that that muscle linked to that system, then that system is strengthened. We do some dialoguing. A lot of the time it is talking, and I'll just be holding certain points and asking certain questions, and the body just settles itself and balances itself out. Yeah. Very gentle, non-invasive. Keep your clothes on, but very relaxing too. So generally, you might be a bit vague when you come out because we've adjusted a lot of things. Any other questions? All good.
Thank you. I'm glad you got to do a demonstration because it's very hard to explain what it is. And as I tell people, it's weird, but it works. And it's very strange when your body starts doing things and you're not aware why it's doing it.